biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. The World Poker Tour is a series of international high-stakes poker tournaments that can turn amateur players into millionaires and make professionals into superstars. With a $2.8 million prize pool on the line, it's time for these 6 players to live the dream.
In Europe, the international language is cash, and there's plenty of it. It's the Grand Prix de Paris tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Welcome to the World Poker Tour. I'm Mike Sexton along with Vince Van Patten, and we're back at what has become the most celebrated poker room on the continent, the Aviation Club de France.
That is right, Mike. It is good to be back in Paris at the very elegant and exclusive Aviation Club. This is the cathedral of European card play, and tonight we're going to see 6 players go after the holy grail of poker. That would be a WPT title and $900,000 to the winner.
Well, there's so much history in this room, Vince, and so much history in this event, but players don't come here just for the cash. They play for the pride of their country as well.
That is right, Mike, but this tournament has always been dominated by Europeans, and tonight is no different.
Well, if you've watched a Gus Hansen or a Patrick Antonius play, then you know that these young players from Northern Europe are taking the game by storm. It seems like the colder the country, the more gamble these guys have got. It's going to be fun to watch these guys go at it tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, put the kids back in school because this is going to be your poker, European vacation here tonight.
Well, the Grand Prix de Paris about to get underway. We started 4 days ago with 232 players. Now, Vince, it was just a stellar international field we had here. Players from Europe and all over the world, they love to come to Paris to play poker.
Yes, they do, as we do as well, to be in this great Aviation Club de France. I mean, it's like the international mix of poker fanatics got together, going after the big money. The cards are flinging around, and it's going to be on Philip Bier to start first.
Goes to a dismal 3-deuce and throws it away.
Yanni out.
Round to Christian Gruntwig of Denmark, he folds.
Now Henrik Witt.
I'm going to raise.
Reaching for chips, he's got a Queen-4 offsuit, and he is going to raise it. Makes it $35,000 to go.
He sees the opportunity. Everybody folding before him. Now Patrick Schul looks down at an 8-5 of spades with the button.
He's going to lay it down.
And the only one to beat is Thomas Walrus. And he goes out with his King-7.
Well, chalk one up to the Dane there. He must have watched the great Dane himself, Gus Hansen, raising with those kind of hands. He's done it here to take down the first pot.
Look at him, very self-satisfied. Henrik.
You chip leader now?
Yep. Can I have the Blake?
No, it's mine.
He's laughing it up because he knows he just had Queen-4.
There must be a ruling about that. The chip leader has the red one.
It's mine.
He's living in Cyprus, which is a beautiful island off of Greece.
Well, he's down there because he's an online poker room manager there now. But I promise you tonight, all he's focused on is winning this WPT title here in Paris. Well, in the poker world, we usually think of the U.S. players being the best players in the world. But I can tell you, Vince, the guys that play from these Scandinavian countries, they are very, very tough players. 5 out of our 6 finalists are from Scandinavian countries tonight.
All right, Yanni quickly folding.
Christian lays his hand down.
And now Henrik Witt. He's picked up a good one, King-Queen.
I'm going to raise.
And he's going to raise it again.
38,000.
Raise with Queen-4 offsuit. He can sure raise with King-Queen.
He's going to make it up to 38,000, he says.
Right behind him is the lone Frenchman, the lone amateur at the table.
He's got a big hand, Ace-Queen.
Well, right now, he is dominating Henrik. He's got Ace-Queen. His opponent's got King-Queen. And Betsy says there's no pressure on him tonight because these other guys are pros and he's an amateur, but I disagree. This place is full of Frenchmen tonight in the other room cheering their man on here. Green plaque he just picked up is worth $25,000 each.
Well, he's not going to get super aggressive. He just makes the call. Behind him is Thomas Walrus with 5-deuce. Can't play that.
Over to Philip, in the big blind. And he just has a 7-5. He lays it down.
So we got King-Queen up against the Frenchman with Ace-Queen. Going to be interesting.
Well, it's the Dane versus the Frenchman. Here comes the flop. And it's come King 9-8. Just a great flop for Henrik here. He's first to speak.
A little crook in the neck as he hits top pair.
And look at this, Vince. He's picking up 3 plaques. Now those are $25,000 each.
Oh, and look at this. So nonchalantly throwing in those beautiful plaques.
Patrick's going to have to be a true gambler to continue playing this hand. This flop has not hit him at all. And even if you suspect larceny on your opponent's part, you still pretty much have to lay this down.
And now, right now, he's just praying to the poker gods. What shall I do? We know he did not hit anything there.
But he does lay it down.
Yes, he says au revoir.
And rightfully so. So chalk another one up to Henrik Witt. He has taken down the first 2 pots at this final table. The Dane off to a great start.
Yes, he is. 2 in a row. And you know, you got to go our regular chips, which aren't bad. They feel good. But plaques, you know, it's very sophisticated. You feel like you're James Bond. I mean, it's what gambling's all about, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a trademark of European casinos, and I like them. So Henrik Witt is our chip leader now.
Yeah.
Over 760,000 in chips.
Math teacher knows how to add up those pots. Did I say that? I think I did.
But remember, the low man at the table has over 400,000 in chips, so very closely bunched here tonight in Paris.
The winner going to take home close to $1 million. Let's go back down the table. It's going to be on the Frenchman, Patrick Schul.
Now he's looking down at ace-9 of diamonds.
Another pretty good starting hand. First position, first to act. He's getting chips out and plaques.
Well, he's trying to relax and stay calm, cool, and collected, Vince, but he looks a little nervous to me here. Big stage for him. He is going to raise it. He comes in the pot for 42,000.
Nicely done. Thomas Walrus quickly going out, and now Philip, got a big hand. Look at this. Ace-King, big slick.
Ace-King suited.
I'm all in.
And he's gone all in here,
Yes,
Vince.
he does.
He's bet it all, over 400,000.
Now, Yanni Santula's got a wired pair of 5s. No, gets out of the way, though.
Well, he's not fooling with them.
Christian with 8-6. Offsuit. Can't play.
Round to Henrik, and not even he can play this hand after it's been raised and re-raised all in.
So the pressure goes back on Patrick. He's got ace-9 of diamonds.
Philip, as we said, 20 years old. Could be the youngest winner in the history of the World Poker Tour if he wins tonight in Paris. You're allowed to play in the casinos when you're 18.
And now Patrick with another decision. And you see that wristband? A lot of people say poker isn't a sport. Well, this proves it might be.
Spoken like a true tennis player.
He's got the tennis wristband.
Well, he's got a big decision right here for all his money, Vince. Philip has him covered, not by much, but he does have him covered.
Because the WPT Cam brought to you by Budweiser, we know he would be dominated. Ace-9 versus Ace-King. But will he make this investment?
A critical decision for the Frenchman here.
You know what?
He's talking.
I have all my time to lose today.
Well, he's going to lay down the ace-9, so a good lay down by the Frenchman there
Very
to
patient.
avoid that trap.
Yeah.
Do I don't quiz?
Gets out of the way, and Philip, what's his last name again?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Vance, please. This Abbott and Costello. Who's on first? What are you trying to do here?
You play along very well, Mike.
Man.
My name is Philip Yeh. I'm 20 years old. I live in Sweden. I started watching poker on TV, and that's how I became a professional poker player. In a good position, I'll play any 2 cards. I'll play anything.
So there we get a glimpse of Philip, And Vince, he believes that age is not a factor when it comes to playing poker, and he's proven it here tonight.
Yep, can play, that's for sure. The way he got this tournament, of course, was through a satellite. He actually played 5 different satellites. Finally got in.
Certainly a prudent investment for him, because here he is going for nearly $1 million.
Thomas Walrus looks down at 6-5.
He's going to lay it down.
And now Philip, once again he picks up ace-king.
Well, this time it's not suited, but still a powerful hand here. Now this time he's first to act. The last time he went over the top of the Frenchman all in with the ace-king.
Raise.
He's certainly going to raise it. 37,000 he makes it.
And to Yanni, who's got queen 5 offsuit, will not play it.
Christian looks down at 4-3 and mucks.
And Henrik Witt with jack 7 squeezing it. Can't figure he'll play. No, he does not. Now we're back on our Frenchman who, I can't believe this. Once again, he picks up ace-queen.
That's the last hand. He had ace-9. He raised.
Oh, boy.
Philip went all in over the top of him.
And this
time he is raising Philip.
All in.
again all in with the ace-king. The Frenchman got to be tired of getting pushed around, Vince. He says, I call, suivi as they call it here in Paris.
Oh, man.
But he is not liking it right now. He is going to have some bon chance to win this pot. No doubt about it. He is up against it. Philippe Yeh with the ace-king. The Frenchman, Patrick Schul with the ace-queen.
It was not a long time, huh?
Look at him. He gets up from the table. His souffle definitely deflated right there.
Huh?
Patrick Schul in a lot of trouble.
I had queen, if you want to hear.
Yeah, that's good, but if you say you had queen too, you will see queen. You know we'll see a queen first.
Je vais être libre plus vite que prévu.
All the French on their feet. You can hear a pin drop on the Champs-Élysées right now, Vince. They know their man needs some help to stay alive in this tournament. Let's see if he can get it. They know this could spell doom for the man they're rooting for to capture this title, to keep this trophy in France.
He could use a suck out. Here comes the flop.
Well, the flop has come 10-8, deuce of clubs.
Neither player has a club in his hand.
Well, you saw Patrick bow his head in sadness. He knows he's going to have to catch a queen to take the lead, or 2 running cards to make a straight to win this pot and stay alive in this tournament.
Here comes 4th Street. It's another club, but not a queen.
Well, that's a good card.
Another club that would split the pot.
Un trèfle.
So he'd love to see a club at the river here to stay alive. Needs a queen to win it. Doesn't get it. The 9 of spades comes off. So that's going to do it for the Frenchman, Patrick Schul. And the 20-year-old Philippe Yeh is now our chip leader.
Patrick Schul is going to have to go home with his baguette and 93,000 euros.
You know, for an amateur player to come into a big-time tournament like this, Vince, he won a satellite to get in the tournament.
Too fast.
You know, had a great week here, out in 6th place. Just wasn't meant to be for the Frenchman today, but pretty good week overall, Vince, no doubt about it.
Patrick Schul crunched out of this event at the Aviation Club. 5 remain.
It's the Grand Prix de Paris. Stay tuned for more on the World Poker Tour.
The first time we make the World Poker Tour tournament at the Aviation Club, we didn't have enough chips. We said, oh, we can use the plaques. Now it's a tradition. The red one is 200. Everybody wants it. The beginning of the game, we give the red plaques to the chip leader.
Now, I'm the captain.
The American players, they love it.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton. We're at the Aviation Club de France where 5 players remain.
And Vince, they're all Scandinavian players that remain. No French people, no American players, no English players. They've won the last 2 times we played this event. Here we're going to have a new champion, and he's going to be from Scandinavia.
Well, Philippe Yeh is the chip leader with 811,000. And right now the action is on him. He looks down at a wired pair of 4s.
Oh, cold 44s. I'm sure he'd like to shoot somebody else down with this hand. He just busted the Frenchman.
He's got the wired pair. He's got money in his hand, and he goes up to $37,000.
Yep, he does raise it.
Yanni going out with 10-7.
Over to Christian. He's going to lay his hand down.
And now Henrik Witt with King Deuce of spades. No, he's not going to play, so the only one to beat is Thomas Walrus. But he's got a wired pair of 6s here.
Hurry, raise.
He is going to come over the top with the 2 6s. Re-raising the guy who raised it under the gun. A bold play here. He is putting heat on this young Swedish player.
Yes, he is. Right back into Philip's face there.
It's going to cost him another $88,000 to make this call. Now he's the chip leader.
I call.
He's going to make the call.
In ski jumping, they got the long hill and the short hill. Right now, Philippe Yeh's on the short hill with the 2 4s. The Finnish guy, Thomas Walrus, with the 2 6s.
Nice pot building up here. A couple wired pairs. Who's going to get lucky?
And a 6 right in the door. Just a dream flop for the Finn right there. He has flopped trips and checks it, Vince.
Yeah. Right behind him, Philip's going to check as well.
Wow, give Philip credit for checking that. You almost feel like you smelled a rat there, Vince. He's not falling for any traps, at least as of yet.
Here we go with the turn card. It's another jack, pairs the board. A little full boat there for Thomas.
Well, let's see how he's going to play it. He checked the first time. His opponent checked right behind him. Oh, he's throwing out the Redbird. That's the $200,000 plaque. That red plaque is the biggest plaque in the house.
How much?
Well, Philip is now our chip leader, so maybe he thinks it's only appropriate he has the red plaque.
With a pretty big bet, and Philip is saying, what does this guy have to make that kind of bet right now?
You know, your opponent checked before the flop, and now he's making a big bet here. Would you suspect he had something like ace-king or ace-queen here, Vince, where your 2 fours might be the best hand? You just can't imagine he would have checked a pair on the flop, would you? Vince, if he makes this call, he's going to be a short-lived chip leader at this final table.
I call.
Oh, painful to watch here.
I can't really blame him for making the call, Vince, because you would suspect that your opponent would have bet a pair on the flop had he had one.
Well, that's the strength of deception. Thomas playing this beautifully. Here we're going down to the river. Of course, we know Philip is drawing dead.
Well, a queen comes up on the river.
I'm all in.
And Thomas quickly goes all in.
Yep.
Will Philip continue to fall off the Eiffel Tower here? Philip in pain here.
Ace queen, ace king.
Now, Philip
See him grimacing.
Philip said, did you have ace king, ace queen?
And he's got a full house, Philip, but
that queen might help him get away from this hand because I think he put him on ace queen. Maybe he thinks he did finally get lucky and hit here. Certainly didn't put him on 3 6s.
Fold.
Whoa, he does go away.
Well, he is going to lay it down. And after that pot, we have a new chip leader. Thomas Walrus is our chip leader.
I see it on TV.
I'll say my hand if you say your hand.
I won't. You see it on TV.
My name is Thomas Walrus, and I'm 26 years old. I used to be an investment banker. I went for a skydiving course and I got instantly hooked. I have almost 1,000 skydives now. In skydiving, you're always willing to take a risk for maximum thrill. I'd say it's the same thing in poker. Basically, if you want to reach the maximum, you got to risk something at some point. I play a lot of tournaments. I never won anything major. This would be a big cornerstone in my life. At some points, you got to grind it out, but at some point, you got to go for it like skydiving.
We got a good one going here so far.
We're calling him the Walrus, Vince. There's nothing wrong with the nickname the Walrus. If you put on a few pounds, nobody cares.
Cuckoo. All right, action is going to be on Christian. Looks down at a Jack-9 offsuit. Goes out.
Yeah, he's going to lay it down. Christian hadn't picked up anything so far.
Around to Henrik with the 10-7 of clubs. Caps his cards.
Well, Henrik doesn't need anywhere near as much as his buddy Christian does to come into a pot.
Raise 38,000.
He's in that Gus Hansen mode. The 3-time WPT champion likes to raise with anything. So does Henrik.
Makes it 38,000 to go. Thomas throws away 5 deuce. And now it's on the small blind Philip. Yeah, he's got his little suited connected 9-10 of diamonds.
That's the kind of hand you like to see flops with. And he's going to make the call.
Yeah, he is going to speculate. Only one left is Yanni Santula. He's got a real hand. He's got the ace-queen this time.
Well, he looks over at Henrik. He knows Henrik's a very aggressive player, will raise with anything. He also knows that Philip sitting on his right didn't re-raise him. He didn't come over the top. So he's probably putting him on something like a suited connector, which is exactly what Philip has. Now, when you know both of those things, what do you do?
Raise.
Well, there you go. He's going to re-raise it.
He is coming over the top of both of these guys for another 100,000. I love this play by Yanni here. Very perceptive. He knows an aggressive player made the first raise. The guy sitting behind him didn't re-raise, meaning he must not be that strong. So he's feeling his ace-queen is the best hand right here, and he's going to try to punish him or pick up the pot right now.
Yanni, they call him Hellraiser. That's his nickname on the circuit.
I don't know why. Never says a peep.
I think he looks a little more like 4 or something.
Henrik Witt doing the numbers right now. He knows it's going to cost him another 100 large to make this call. What more do you need to know than that? And he's going to lay it down.
And Philip not even going to do an acting job. He lays down his hand, his 9-10. So that's going to be the first pot here tonight. Picked up by Yanni.
Well, that's just great poker perception there. That's knowing who's raising the pot, putting the other guy on a hand when he just limps in behind him, and figuring your hand is the best hand. Go ahead and re-raise it and take it down. Yanni doing it right there. Well played hand by him.
So let's talk about some of the past champions that have won here in Paris.
Well,
Christian Johansson in Season 1. David Benjamin, the Frenchman, of course, in Season 2. And then Surrender Sunar, Roland De Wolf.
last year the runner-up, a Finnish player as well, and former WPT champion, Juha Helppi. Yanni trying to get in that league himself.
Let's go back down to the table. It is going to be on Henrik.
Looking down at the speed limit, he's got a pair of 5s here.
Wired pair in early position.
Well, we know he's a very aggressive player, likes to raise with anything. This time he's got a pair, so yes, he is going to raise with it. 38,000 to go.
Next one to act is Thomas Walrus, and he's got a big hand. Ace-King, big slick.
Call.
Notice he does not raise with his ace-king, Vince. He just calls.
He's going to play it a little tricky here, making just the call. But right behind him, Philip, yeah, he's got a pair of 9s. He says all in.
Well, he's saying yeah right now because he's got 2 9s and he's putting all his chips out there. So the 20-year-old pulling the trigger here for everything.
Yanni throwing away his ace-3. Christian can't play. He's out. Back on Henrik with the 5s.
Henrik is going to lay down 2 5s here.
Yes, he is. And Thomas makes a quick call with his big slick ace-king.
Well, he's going with it. So we got the classic race situation, the underpair versus the 2 overcards. The youngster, the 20-year-old from Sweden, Philip, yeah, all in with 2 9s. He must win this pot to stay alive right now, a slight favorite to do so.
Now, don't forget, just a few hands back, he was our chip leader, hit his flip-flopped. But right now, a coin flip to see who's going to take this pot. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more exciting action from the Aviation Club de France in just a moment. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. I'm Vince Van Patten with Mike Sexton in France. And what a situation we have right now.
Yep, we've got the 20-year-old, the youngest guy at the table, Philip, yeah, all in with 2 9s. He's up against Thomas Walrus's ace-king, and Thomas has him covered. So you see Philip there praying to the poker gods. He knows he's got to win this hand to stay alive.
Here come the first 3 cards. It is an 8 of clubs, a 6 of spades, and a 4 of spades.
Well, so far so good for Philip. The 2 9s out front. Right now he's got to dodge an ace or a king or 2 running spades. That would give Thomas a flush.
Well, this would return Philip to be our chip leader if his hand should hold up. 2 cards to come.
Just a massive pot, almost $1 million out there.
Take a look at 4th Street.
Well, an ace comes on the turn.
Oh, devastation for Philip, yeah.
Well, Philip gets up from his chair.
I should just called and moved.
Oh, now a very perceptive statement by Philip right there. Yeah. He said, I should have just called the raid before the flop and then moved in on the flop.
That's not completely over. River card coming up. Yes, it's completely over. Complete devastation.
So Philip, yeah, the 20-year-old from Sweden, out of this tournament in 5th place.
Bad luck. He is sickened as he walks away.
Well, Vince, the guy called the Swede knocks out the guy from Sweden.
I'm standing here with Philip from Sweden. Now, he's only 20 years old, and this is his first final table. Now, how do you think he played today?
I played really bad. I know I made some bad moves. Pocket 4s, example. I'm not that happy. I'll take it.
Congratulations on making it this far, and really, really hope I get to see you next year. And congratulations.
Thank you.
But right now, we are down to 4 players. Thomas Walrus with about 1.3 million. And the short stack at this time is Christian Grundvig with 505,000. Back to the table on Thomas.
We're on to the 2 Finnish guys, the 2 blinds, the 2 chip leaders, and Thomas Walrus is going to raise it up here with an ace-9.
Yes, he is. He makes it 60,000 to go into Yanni, who's got a queen 4 clubs in the big blind. It's an additional 40,000 if he wants to call it.
Well, you can see this is not a team game, folks. These guys are playing individually for this title. And the man that they all think is a tight player is making a call here. A 40,000 more with a queen 4.
Here we go with the flop. King, Jack, 10. Wow, it's going to 4 flush Yanni and give him an open-ended straight draw.
Well, Thomas has the best hand with an ace high, but he checks it.
60.
And certainly with this kind of draw, Yanni's going to make a bet at the pot.
60,000 with that beautiful flop for him.
Call.
But a quick call by Thomas.
Wow, I'm surprised at this, Vince. I mean, he has to catch a queen, really, to feel secure, and not even the queen of clubs, because that would make a potential flush out there. And if a queen comes up there, how much action can you expect to get? Very peculiar call by Thomas here.
He's a tricky, unorthodox kind of player. Now, nothing shows up. A 3 of spades. Now, Thomas has quickly checked it, and Yanni, with his 4 flush, an open-ended straight draw.
Now, many players would take a free card here if you had the drawing hand Yanni does, but not Yanni. He's betting 120,000 here. He just doesn't sense that Thomas is that strong. He's going to try to win the pot right here rather than outdraw him.
It is a nice bet by Thor there with his 4 flush, and he's going to get Thomas to go away.
Tough one up to aggressive play for Yanni right there. Nice bet on the turn by him with just a drawing hand.
The man they call Hellraiser on the circuit, Yanni Santula, professional poker player for 2 years. Learned how to play poker at 7 years old from his father. That's familiar, huh, Mike? I was 9, though. You know?
Okay.
My father didn't want to ruin me.
My nickname is Hellraiser. I don't have any strategy before tournament. I try to play hand by hand. I don't know if I win this one. It's very hard to win.
So the 2 Finnish guys going at it there. That round going to Yanni Santula. We all know that players play for the pride of their country, but in poker, believe me, folks, you're playing to win this thing on your own.
All right, and right now it's on the Dane. Henrik quickly folding an ace-8. Right behind him with the button, Thomas has ace-9.
Well, that figures to be a good hand over 2 random blind hands, so Thomas going to raise it here.
Yeah, he's getting out chips. Looks like an additional 40,000 to go.
Yep, comes in for 60,000.
Into Yanni Santula. He's got another ace, ace-jack. In the small blind.
Got the ace-jack of hearts. And generally, you always suspect the guy on the button with a little larceny when he raises it. Let's see how Yanni's going to play this ace-jack.
Call.
He's just calling. Vince does not re-raise here. Action over to Christian, and incredibly, he's got the same hand. He's got ace-jack of diamonds. All 4 of these players had an ace in their hand.
Check the deck, ladies and gentlemen. It's like one of those magic decks here.
I raise.
And he's going to re-raise it.
Well, he suspected the guy raising on the button might be a little larcenous. The other guy limped in, didn't re-raise. He's going to try to take the pot away here, even though we can see Yanni has the same hand as him.
260,000.
Wow. Look at this. The blacks are going in. That's an additional $200,000.
Well, the heat is being poured on these guys right now.
Thomas quickly folding his hand, and Yanni cannot compete.
Well, they know Christian hasn't played a hand yet at this final table, Vince. You have to give him credit for having a hand when he comes over the top of 2 players with a re-raise there.
Christian Gwantwig, you know, they call him the Stamp. And that's because he's a former stamp dealer. And they say that he still has over 3,000 stamps in his personal collection.
He raised that pot and he said, return to sender. Christian Grunwig taking down that hand.
Building up his stack, he's got about 667,000. The other 3 players are all in the 900s.
Well, everybody's got chips, Vince. It's anybody's games. Blinds are only 10 and 20,000. That means we got a lot of play left here.
This party continues down to 4 players. Action's going to be on Thomas Warus.
Certainly going to be ooh la la for one of these guys.
Seat number 1 looks down at ace deuce, goes out.
Over to the button on Yanni. Now he looks down at a pair of 7s. That's a good hand on the button. Certainly against the 2 blinds. Yanni looks like he's getting out raising chips, and indeed he is. He's going to make it 60,000 to go.
Christian out. Henrik now.
I'm going to raise.
In the big blind, but with king 5, he says raise.
Wow. Now most people would just muck a king 5 offsuit.
230.
Henrik doesn't just call it. He comes over the top of it. He's going to take the lead here, or at least try to.
On the assumption that Yanni's messing around with the button, that he doesn't have much, and maybe he can take this pot down right now.
The raise is actually just 70,000 here. Henrik admits he's just a limit poker player for the most part. If there's one area of his game that he feels like he's a little weak in, it's the size of the bet and what to bet. In this case, I think it's a small raise here. Only 70,000 into a pot that's got well over 165,000 in it.
Well, Thor is thinking about this. The chips are going in.
Well, Yanni is going to make the call. You saw Henrik look down there when the call was made. You know he's not happy about that. Getting called by a pretty solid player, and you're looking at king 5 offsuit out of position.
Two-way action. Pair of sevens versus king five. Flop coming up. Oh, no. Whoa.
Well, it's come king jack 5, just a dream flop for Henrik here.
Flops 2 pair after messing around.
Well, look at him, Vince. He's going for the European Actors Guild Award or something.
190.
He's betting 190,000 here.
Yes, he is. Now Yanni with just a pair of sevens wants no part of it. Quickly gets out. The question is, should have Henrik checked his monster flop? I want to check and maybe get a check raise going.
Well, you could sense that he did want to, Vince, but it would have looked a little suspicious. At least he felt that way.
A lot of shifty play at the Aviation Club de France in Paris. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action in just a...
Aviation Club de France. It's a very old club. It's a very exclusive place. Everybody wants to play here.
But I love this club.
To come in the aviation club the first time, that was really fun. It's still a great place to eat. The restaurant place where you have one of the best food in Paris, some very good wines. You're right in the heart of Paris, and very nice place to play.
So as soon as you have landed at the airport, you get in a cab, ask for the 104 Avenue des Champs-Élysées, and we can take care of all your stay in Paris.
Welcome back. 4 players remain in the Grand Prix de Paris. From Paris, I'm Vince Van Patten with Mike Sexton. And right now, our chip leader, Henrik Witt, he's got $1,069,000 in chips.
Showing plenty of aggressiveness here tonight. It's paying off for him. He understands that in poker, bettors have an advantage over callers. So when you're going to play, do the betting, not the calling.
Well, he is a former math teacher, and he is adding up his chips beautifully this evening. Back to the action. Look at this Thor. Yanni Santula's picked up a pair of jacks.
Fish hooks, as we call them in the trade.
He's first to act.
He's going to try to throw a little line into that pot right now, and he's doing it. 60,000 he bets.
Yes, he does. Nice hand to do it with. Christian quickly folding. Henrik Witt out with the 7-5, and now it's around to Thomas Walrus, who's got an ace-9 in the big blind.
Call.
And he's going to make the call.
Yep.
So again, the 2 Finnish guys going at it here.
Wired pair of jacks for Yanni Santula up against ace-9 for Thomas.
Here comes the flop.
Flop comes up queen, 3, 9, all spades.
Both players have a flush draw. Thomas with a nut flush draw. He's going to check.
Well, Thomas also with a pair of 9s, but you look at this right behind him. Yanni not giving him any action, quickly checks.
Wow, he checks 2 jacks in the flush draw.
You believe it? Now the turn card comes up. It's a 3. That pairs the board.
Again, Thomas checks. You suspect Thomas was planning on check raising on the flop. But Yanni checked the flop. He's not checking on the turn, however. He's leading out and he's betting 80,000 here.
Back into Thomas, who has the ace-high flush draw, and he says re-raise.
Oh, wow. He's coming back over the top fence.
Wow.
Remember, he's got a pair of 9s and the nut flush draw here.
And he's going up to 240,000 to call.
A healthy bet here. Now Yanni trying to figure out what's going on. The guy checked on the flop. Now he's check raising me here on the turn.
Here's the WPT cam brought to you by Budweiser. We see that Yanni, with just a pair of jacks, is actually out in front.
Call.
Oh, Yanni's not going anywhere. The plaque's flying in.
Wow. Thomas didn't like hearing that call, I can tell you that.
Will Thomas hit his spade? Here comes the river. No, he did not. It's a deuce of clubs.
All in.
Thomas is going all in here, Vince.
Just like that.
Vince, he is betting 9s and 3s here like it's the nuts. He really believes this is the best hand. I don't think he thinks he's bluffing here. But we can see that he's beat.
Yes, he is. And this is a close to 700,000 euro bet. Just a monster bet. He's got 9s and 3s with the ace flush draw. Wow. And what a situation it puts Yanni into.
Well, when a guy moves all in on you, you're supposed to do just what Yanni's doing. Sit back, take a breath, review the bidding, see how the betting worked. Remember, Yanni raised before the flop, he got called. His opponent checked to him on the flop, he checked. When he bet on the turn, his opponent check raised him, and now he's moved all in on the river. With that sequence of betting, it's going to be very difficult for him to call with 2 jacks here, I think, Vince.
course, we know he'd be right if he makes this call. And he is pained, as you can see him going through this torturous decision. And look at Thomas. He is not moved. I mean, this guy, what are you going to get on this man?
He looks like a ski jumper on the big hill right now. Just frozen in time.
It's a big pot.
Yanni hoping he can get something out of his comrade here to indicate the strength of his hand.
And he's a human pylon, this man. Can't detect anything from that. Well, there you see Yanni just taking his time. This is why people love the Europeans, because they take long vacations, right? And they just take a long time in life in general. And so this is just a part of this.
He just really believes, you think that his jacks are the best hand. His problem is, if he makes the call and loses this pot, he's out of this tournament. If he makes this call, you just stand up and salute this long blonde-haired guy.
What can you have?
He said, what can you have?
Oh.
Trying to get Thomas to talk about his hand. Doing just what a poker player should do in this spot. Put your opponent on a hand. That's your mission at the poker table, is to try to guess what the two down cards are of your opponent. And if he guesses right here, he's going to be a wealthy man.
No, he is going to lay the hand down.
Going to lay it down. You can't fault him for laying him down. That's the way this hand was played.
Pilli.
He has to be asking, what did you have?
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
Well, you see the look on Yanni's face right there. He knows now he laid down the best hand.
You see, Thomas tells him like he's a friend what he really had. But you got to question the whole friendship thing when you wind up telling your friend that you just got bluffed out of $1 million pot.
He didn't. He told him the truth. The guy asked.
The truth hurts sometimes. 4 players remain. Who's going to take the title? We'll be right back on the World Poker Tour.
All in. It's a big pot. What can you have?
Pilli. Ei ollut. Tai semipilli Maximus. Mulla on 2 pari.
Eli mulle parempi.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. The Grand Prix de Paris continues. The baguettes are flying as we are down to 4 players.
Well, one thing's for sure, Vince. This WPT title is going to stay in Europe. The question is, will it go to Denmark or will it go to Finland? We've got 2 players from each country remaining.
Now, Thomas Walrus with about 1.4 million, and the short stack, but not very short, is Yanni Santula, 516,000.
Blinds are 10 and 20,000. Back to the action.
Let's take a peek at Yanni's hand. 10-3 offsuit.
And lay it down.
And now the stamp man, Christian Grundwig, folds with ace-deucey.
Wow, shows you how tight he's playing, Vince, to lay down an ace high on the button.
Henrik with just a 9-6, calling off the remainder.
Well, he limps in out of the small blind. Thomas says, give us a flop. Thomas holding the jack 10. So here comes the flop. Well, the flop comes king 8-7.
Oh, that is interesting.
Henrik has an open-in straight draw. Action is on him.
Thomas with a gut shot straight draw with his jack 10, but Henrik coming right out to bet 35,000.
Call.
Well, not that big of a bet. Thomas is going to make the call, hoping to hit lightning here.
Nice little pot brewing here. Turn card coming up.
Well, a queen comes up. This gives Thomas an open-end straight draw now. So both players with an open-end straight draw. Henrik is going to bet his. He leads right out and bets 70,000.
Henrik not slowing down.
Now Thomas cracking those knuckles. Wonder what that means.
I raise.
He's going to raise, he says.
He's not calling with the open-end straight draw, folks. He's re-raising it. He's going to try to take the pot away right now. Little does he know his jack high is the best hand.
175.
Ooh.
I'm all in.
What is this? All in by Henrik.
Wow. Henrik Witt has gone all in right here.
And that is going to stun Thomas.
Right now, Thomas is saying, why didn't I just call him there? I might have made my straight and won this pot.
Now this is up against the chip leader. And Thomas is going to muck his hand. What a move by Henrik.
Well, it's unbelievable. You know, Vince, the common thread that all players talk about, that they'll tell you what it takes to win out here in the World Poker Tour, is heart. Well, Henrik Witt sure showed a lot of heart in that hand. That is playing the game.
I actually began playing backgammon many years ago. In backgammon, there's a term called equity. You also calculate an equity in poker. That's what it's all about, calculated risks.
Vince, I don't care what country you're from or where you play the game, you've got to love that move that Henrik Witt just put on his man Thomas right there. It's so difficult to make that play anytime, let alone against the one guy at the table that can take you out of the tournament if he makes the call.
Back to the table on the stamp man, Christian Gruntwig.
Have enough chips to hold on to.
This time he's got a wired pair of 8s. I could wake him up.
Well, he's got the 2 snowmen.
Race.
And he says raise.
He comes in for 60,000.
Henrik getting out of the way. But Thomas Walrus with King Jack.
Call.
Makes the call.
Yeah, got the Kojak hand.
Yanni with Queen 6 goes out. So two-way action. King Jack versus pair of 8s.
Well, here comes the flop. Flop comes Queen 9-4. Thomas with a gut shot straight draw. He checks.
Stamp man checks behind him, Mike. And there's a free card there. Thomas has got to be happy about that. He's got the inside straight draw. Will he catch anything here? Nope.
Well, the 3 of diamonds comes off. No apparent help to either player.
And Thomas is getting out plaques.
He bet 75,000 at the pot. Well, Vince, certainly Christian going to make that call. His opponent didn't bet on the flop. Now all of a sudden an unsuspecting 3 comes off. After the guy called a raise before the flop, you're just not going to think that's going to help him.
Well, and this stamp is correct in that assumption right now. And here we go with the turn card, 4 diamonds.
Now that's a card that may perhaps scare Christian. It is the flush card if indeed his opponent backdoored a diamond draw. It also paired the 4s.
But it's on Thomas, who hit nothing. But he's getting out plaques, Mike, once again.
Wow, 2 handfuls of them, Vince.
225,000.
That's more than half the chips that Christian has left. So Christian in a very difficult position right now. Remember, he just has a pair of 8s. There's 2 overcards out there. There's an underpair out there, a possible flush out there. Your snowmen are melting fast here.
We know, of course, Thomas has nothing. No pair.
It's over half his chips that he's got to put in this pot to make this call, which would leave him on the extreme short stack if he called and lost this pot.
Oh, yes, he's going to make an amazing call.
Wow, what a call by Christian here. Just read his opponent perfectly here. And he's going to take this pot down with a pair of 8s. When he takes off the glasses and breaks into a grin, and why not? You know, when you can make a call like that, Vince, it's not just the pot that you win right there. It's the confidence you have that you can take this thing down.
The stamp delivers in a nice fashion right there.
He just sensed Thomas was on tilt a little bit from that last pot. He looked him up with that hand and takes down a nice pot because of it. And Vince, Thomas Walrus is unraveling here a little bit. When you go back to the flop on that hand, you just wonder, had Thomas started bluffing at that stage, had he bet on the flop, the turn, the river, I don't see there's any way that Christian could have made the call with the 2 8s. Sometimes when you want to set a bluff up, you just can't wait till the last street to try to bluff it. You got to put the pieces of the puzzle together along the way for it to be successful.
4 players remain. It is up for grabs. Stay with us here on the World Poker Tour.
But dumping my chips away. They're not your chips, they're mine chips.
My best advice when you start playing poker, what I try to do, I try to put somebody on a hand.
Fabrice, he's got ace-queen here. Nam has picked up 2 kings.
Just think about it and try to put him on a hand. Does he have queens? Does he have jacks? Why does he raise so much? And see if you're right.
I don't need to look at the camera. I know he's got kings, so...
Oh, nice call by Fabrice.
Called his cards exactly.
Sometimes when it's really little money, I just called to be sure that my read was good. Raising, re-raising, how do you feel the player is in a good mood, did he take a bad beat? All those information combined gives you a very good taste of what kind of hand he could hold. When it turns out to be good, it's a very good feeling.
For more great poker tips, log on to world.poker.tour.s05e05.
Welcome back to the final table of the Grand Prix de Paris. I'm Sabina Gadecki, and here's how the campaign for Europe's Poker Crown has gone so far.
Behind the velvet ropes in Paris, Frenchman Patrick Schur was the first to find himself lost in translation, and was quickly followed by young Swede Philip Yeah, whose night ended with a no. Now, 4 players remain, 2 Danes and 2 Finns, each battling for the pride of country, the prestige of a World Poker Tour title, and a nearly $1 million payday.
Well, when we started our final 4 players, the 2 Finns had the chip lead. Now it's reversed. The 2 Danish guys have got the chip lead. Our chip leader, Henrik Witt, and Yanni Sontula on the bottom of the barrel right now has not quite a $500,000.
Antes and blinds are going up, $3,000 antes. Blinds are going to be 15 and 30, and it's going to be on Thomas to act first. Seat number 1. Looks down at a 9-6 of hearts. Call. Makes a call.
Well, he's going to limp in with this hand, hoping to see a cheap flop.
Yanni with the button goes out with 10-8. Christian Court, we got ace-jack of clubs, a pretty good hand in the small blind.
He's just calling also, Vince. He is not raising with the ace-jack suited.
Does not go up, and Henrik with just San Francisco 49 says, let's see the flop.
So 3-way action here. A 9. Oh, let's come ace-9 deuce. All 3 players getting a piece of that flop.
And just like that, Christian quickly checking the pair of aces.
Well, he's got the best hand with 2 aces and checks him. And Henrik quickly bets $75,000 with second pair of 9s, which I don't blame him for.
Now everyone has a piece here. Thomas with the 9s as well.
Well, he quickly calls the bet.
Makes the call.
You can't put the guys on an ace here, Vince. They didn't raise before the flop. I would bet 2 9s here also.
Now we're back to around the man with a real hand.
I raise.
And here comes the raise.
So he is going to come back over the top. He swapped top pair and said, if you guys can beat this, good luck to you.
And look at the plaques go in. It looks like he's going up to $275,000 with his check and raise.
And all of a sudden, that second pair shrinks up a little bit.
Henrik going out quickly. Let's see if Thomas will stick around.
Yeah, he goes out as well.
Wow.
So Christian taking down that pot. And a nice check he made on the flop. He ended up getting money from both players because of it.
My name is Christian Grundtvig, professional poker player. Before that, I was a stamp dealer. My friends, they call me the stamp. The most valuable stamp I ever had was sold for $30,000. National Television of Denmark is following 7 players from Denmark, including me, for the documentary. I think I have a huge advantage, what I've seen so far. I'm totally confident when I sit in this TV table. After maybe 20 minutes, I will feel at home there. And I hope I can make it my home.
We started out with 232 players 4 days ago, and all the big names in the game were here, Mike. A lot of Americans.
We had former WBT champions all over the house, including Roland the Wolf, Surinder Sunar. The Devilfish himself was in the house. Sure. Former WBT world champion Alan Gehring here. Even Phil Hellmuth came over and had a real good shot in this tournament. Took a bad beat with 2 tables left, or he'd have been at this final table. A lot of the greats were here.
All right, action on Henrik Witt with King Queen in his hand.
Raise.
Gets the plaques out, says raise.
Makes it $80,000 to go.
Thomas with Dolly Parton 9-5 goes out, and now Yanni Santula. Yanni's got a good hand, ace-9 of clubs.
Yanni on the short stack right now with about a $500,000 in chips. Well, Vince, he knows Henrik is an aggressive player.
He's already invested. He's in the big blind.
I'm all in.
Wow.
Well, he's going all in. Now, that's knowing your players.
Count it, please.
He's saying, you know what? You had the button. I don't think you're that strong. I can take this pot right now. Let's see if he will.
Well, now the decision on Henrik Witt as to what to do here. Going to cost him another $442,000 to make this call.
Well, that is significant.
Well, he's only got $80,000 in the pot.
Oh, and look at that dismal look.
Well, he's trying to figure out what his opponent can have. Can he make this call? Could he possibly have a pair of 5s or 6s here where we'd be in a race situation where I'd be getting the best of it to make the call? Or am I dominated? Should I throw this hand away? As the cards lie, Yanni about a 60% favorite to win this pot. But believe me, he'd rather just take the pot down right now.
I'm going to call you.
Well, Vince, he's a gambler. He's doing it. He's making the call. He's hoping his opponent has an ace and a baby card or perhaps a low pair. Just give him a good chance to win this pot.
Good call. I think so.
Maybe. Go ahead.
Wow.
So as the cards lie, Yanni not quite a 60% favorite to win this pot, but right at it. So nearly a 3-2 favorite.
Good luck, Finland. Team Finland.
To win, but he must do so to stay alive. He has that relaxed look, and he says to himself, you know, all I can do is get my money in with the best hand. I've done it here. Now, please let the poker guys do their job.
Well, Thor has done it. The Hellraiser from the circuit.
It's only poker.
He's got the best of it right now. Will his hand hold up? Here we go. There's the burn. Here's the turn. It's a 7. Another 7. And a 4. So right now the ace high is out in front.
His opponent can't make a straight or a flush. He's got to catch a king or a queen to take the lead. Let's see if he can do it.
Now in Europe, they give us this flop when they do one at a time, the slow roll, the slow death.
I know it's coming.
I know you don't like that
Oh,
either.
man, I don't like it. Here comes the turn card. It's a 9 that actually pairs him. Pairs Yanni.
So right now, Henrik must catch a king or a queen. Otherwise, Yanni is going to double up here.
Can Henrik suck out here and take Yanni out of this event? We will see. Coming down to the river. Here it comes.
No, it's the 8 of clubs. So that's going to do it. So Yanni breathing a sigh of relief, which you do every time you're all in. And with that pot, he vaults up over the $1 million chip mark. He is right in the hunt to capture this title. Nice all-in bet by him right there.
Henrik just twitching a little bit there.
He's a gambler. He's a gambling style player. He opted to go for it there with the king queen, hoping to eliminate the Finn. Didn't happen. We still have 4 left.
So Yanni sent 2 from Helsinki, Finland, doubling up there.
Here we go. 4 players left. Action's going to be on Yanni, who is feeling good right now.
He's got to be. Yanni looks down at ace-10 offsuit this time.
That's a pretty good hand in a short-handed poker game. So he is reaching for chips. And he's going to raise it, Vince. He comes in for 80,000.
Christian folding. Henrik Witt with an ace-6. Not going to fool around with that. He goes out. And the only one to beat is Thomas Walrus. He's got 7-5 of spades.
And he's going to make the call. Now, these two guys have played a lot of poker together for the last 5 years. They know each other very, very well. They're certainly not afraid to clash with each other here at this final table. You see it happening over and over again. This time, Thomas making the call with the 7-5 of spades.
Ace-10 versus 7-5. Here come the first 3. It is an 8 of diamonds. An ace of hearts. But look at this. It's an open-ended straight draw for Thomas.
And we can see some fireworks here.
And pair of aces, of course, for Yanni. He's hit top pair.
Well, Thomas is reaching for chips. He's got the open-end straight draw. And he's going to lead right out and bet with him, Vince.
Yep. Boldly betting into his Finnish friend.
Well, look at Yanni now, sitting back in his chair, hands over his head. He's saying, what's going on here? I can't believe this guy can beat this hand. Wouldn't he have raised me before the flop if he had ace-king or ace-queen or maybe even ace-jack? If he flopped 2 pair, wouldn't he check to me? I raised before the flop.
I'm all in.
And he's going all in. He's not fooling around with his man. Vince, he has figured this hand out just right, in my opinion.
Thor is thrusting his chips in, all in. Now this is going to cost Thomas with the open-ended straight draw in addition. Well, everything he has is about 400,000, I believe.
Well, Vince, right now he's cracking his knuckles, saying, why did I lead out at this flop where the guy could set me in here? Couldn't I have just checked, maybe called a cheaper bet, or come back over the top of him and put him to the test? So Thomas on the short stack at this final table. Do you want to gamble your last 400,000 on a draw?
And he's going to go out.
Well, he does lay it down, Vince.
You can't think he's going to draw to that.
Right now he's wishing he would have checked on the flop.
The Wonder Cam shows up, and oh man, he would have hit his hand. It's a 4.
Right on the turn, he makes the straight. And in the poker world, it's such a fine line. You make a call sometimes or hit a card, you're going to be champion. If you lay a hand down or you miss a hand on a draw, you're a chump.
The Hellraiser, Yanni Santula, playing aggressively, takes that pot. 4 players still remain. We're coming right back here on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the Grand Prix de Paris. The WPT's European vacation continues with 4 players here at the Aviation Club de France.
Well, 2 players have about the same amount of chips at the top, and the other 2 have the same amount at the bottom.
You're right, and Yanni and Christian, our chip leaders, have close to 1.3 million in chips. Short stack is Thomas with about 400,000. The winner is going to get close to $1 million in U.S. currency. What a payday it would be.
Action's on Henrik. He looks down at an ace-10.
80,000.
And he's going to raise it. Says 80,000.
Into Thomas, who quickly folds his jack-4 offsuit. Around to Yanni, who has picked up a big hand, ace-king.
Yanni in the small blind has got ace-king. He stares over at how many chips Henrik has left.
Pre-raise.
Oh, there he goes with the re-raise by the Hellraiser.
And let's see how many of those plaques he picks up. Remember those plaques, 25,000 each.
250 total.
And he's going to bet $250,000.
Fold.
Christian with Jack-9 goes out and back on Henrik.
Well, he quickly throws away the ace-10 vent, so Yanni gets his due here. He gets a lot of respect from these players. He takes down the pot, and now he is our chip leader.
You're right. They got to respect the Hellraiser at the table when he raises. I tell you, also got to respect any man that'll wear his hair that long in public.
Well, you got to respect what a final table this is, Vince. All 4 of these players have now had the chip lead at one time or another at this final table.
What a battle this has been here. Well, decision goes back to the Hellraiser. Yanni Santula this time going to lay down his 7-5. But the stamp man, Christian Gruntwig, he this time picks up ace-king, big slick.
You're sitting there. You should be paying attention. This guy hasn't made any moves unless he's had a hand.
Getting chips out. Look at the blacks flying in there once again.
Comes in for 90,000.
Into his fellow Dane.
Henrik looks down at ace-queen, Vance.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all in.
He's going all in right here. Just can't believe that he's going to be dominated here.
Thomas quickly folds his hand and back to Christian, and he's made the call.
So Henrik Witt in trouble here. He's got ace-queen. His opponent's got ace-king. It seems that recent trends on the World Poker Tour is that everyone that's got their money in with ace-queen before the flop has gotten himself broke. Happened earlier tonight with Patrick Schul. We saw it happen twice last season at this final table when Kurt Kohlberg and Alan Gehring went out with ace-queen before the flop. Can the tide turn here? Is the law of averages about to come true? Can Henrik Witt change that curse?
Well, Henrik Witt, the former math teacher, can do that math, and he doesn't like it. It's not over, though. We have 5 cards to come. It can turn around. Who knows?
Good luck. I need it.
The math teacher manages to smile. Here we go with the first 3. The crowd up on his feet at the Aviation Club. Here's the flop. It's at 8. Another 8.
Oh,
the king.
The dagger there when the king pops up. That means that Henrik has got to catch 2 runners in a row, as we say, to stay alive and win this pot. It's got to come Jack-10 or Queen-Queen for him. It could come 8-8 where they get a split pot, but right now, the light's about to go out on this Dane.
Good. 8-8. 8-8. Jack-10. 10-Jack. Queen-Queen.
As they chat between themselves, here is the turn card.
Well, that's a 6. That's going to do it. There's no card that Henrik can catch to win this pot now. He knows it. Shakes everybody's hand.
Thank you.
He will make $214,000 US.
So Henrik is going to leave us in 4th place.
Not without playing some superb poker. Very aggressive player. Henrik Witt has to say goodbye. He is our 4th place finisher. And we are down to 3 players at the Aviation Club de Paris.
Very well played, sir.
Well, Vince, the curse seems to continue. Everybody who gets their money in the pot before the flop with ace-queen seems like it's tapioca pudding for them.
I'm standing here with Henrik Witt. Now you re-raised and went all in. Now you had an ace-queen. You must have thought you had a really great hand.
Well, yes, we were down to 4-handed, so basically I had no choice. And my good friend Christian, he unfortunately had ace-king and dominated my hand, so I needed to get lucky.
And I heard you say that you guys are definitely still friends after this hand, right?
Of course we are.
Okay.
So it's poker. I mean, things happen in poker that you cannot take with you outside the poker room.
Well, congratulations on making it this far.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're coming right back. 3 players remain here on the World Poker Tour. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Grand Prix Day Party. We are down to 3 players.
Henrik Witt from Denmark was just eliminated in 4th place. Went all in with the ace-queen. Didn't work out for him. Right now the chip leader is the other Dane sitting at this table, Christian Grunwig.
He has been very patient here this evening. He's a former stamp collector, and anyone that can hold on to stinking stamps for like 30 years for them to become valuable has to have patience, and that's going to pay off at the poker table. All right, action on our stamp, man. He goes out with king 6, and now Thomas
I'm all in.
goes all in with an ace 3.
He's on the short stack right here. Got an ace high. You have to go all in right here, I think. And now Yanni is trying to calculate how much he's got, how much it's going to cost him. Well, he can well afford to make this call. He's got king jack.
Yeah, decent hand.
And I'd be surprised if he laid it down, Vince.
I call.
Yeah, he makes the call.
Yeah, he's doing it.
King high.
Ace high.
As the cards lie, Thomas about a 60% favorite to win this pot. If he wins it, he doubles up. If not, he'll be our 3rd place finisher.
The 2 Finnish friends going at each other once again this evening.
In addition to what might be a title here on the World Poker Tour, it's going to be bragging rights back in Finland if you knock the other guy out here. Certainly Yanni trying to do that right now to his buddy Thomas.
Yeah, good luck to you as well.
And look at this. They're talking sweet nothings to each other.
Here comes the flop. 9-8 ace, the killer card.
Yeah, Thomas spikes the ace right on that flop.
That means Yanni needs 2 runners to win this pot to eliminate Thomas from this tournament.
Good opportunity for Thomas to double up, get right back in contention. Here's 4th Street.
Ooh. Well, there's one of them, Vince.
Uh-oh.
That gives him an ace-high straight draw. He now needs a 10 on the river.
No.
They heard that card in Helsinki.
Well, Thomas is thinking it's never easy. Where's the deuce or 3 on the turn there where I don't have to sweat this river card?
We are going down the River Seine for 5th Street.
Well, there's the 3. So Thomas Walrus, a.k.a. the Walrus, has done it here, Vince. He has doubled up and put a little nick in the armor there of Yanni.
Yes. He says, I'm taking this pot. I'm the best in Finland, my man.
Well, the Vikings die with their sword. Instead, he doubles up.
Yes, now I got both. I have both the big blacks.
Well, when you're one of the other players sitting at that table and the short stack doubles up, it takes a little air out of your sails because you know it's going to be that much tougher to win the title.
The Viking giving back some money. Let's go back down to the table. It's going to be on Yanni. He goes out with his 6-3.
Raise.
Well, Christian's going to raise it here with the king 6 of spade. He comes in for 90,000.
And to Thomas, who has king jack of clubs, and a quick call by Thomas.
Well, he doesn't re-raise because he gives Christian respect for having a hand. He's had one every time he's bet today. So Thomas just wants to see the flop before he commits any more chips. Thomas has got him out-kicked, as we say. He's got the king jack. Christian with the king 6.
Here goes the slow death roll. 7-4-9, helping neither player.
Action on Christian. Well, Christian, who's played the tightest at this table, hasn't made any moves yet at a pot.
175,000.
Yet he's doing it right here, Vince.
Are you sure?
No, I can't say it.
175,000.
Okay, you got it. You got it. Don't worry.
He is
Well,
pushing
Thomas
him out.
says you got it. You're just saying Christian wouldn't put chips in the pot unless he had a hand. There he bluffed at it and won a pot with the worst cards.
The man is starting to change gears in a 3-handed poker game. You got to mix it up. You got to get deceptive. You got to make moves. Gambling in Paris is going to be more expensive. The antes are going up to 5,000. The blinds are going up to 25 and 50,000.
So Christian showing a little speed there, as we say, winning that pot with the worst cards.
3-handed action going fast here. Action's back on Thomas.
I'm all in.
He says all in with his ace-3.
Well, the last time he had it moved all in, he doubled up, Vince. He's going to try it again.
545.
Close to a $500,000 re-raise. And now Yanni's got king, deuce of clubs.
Well, he's going to lay it down.
Ooh. But right behind him, Christian's got a pair of ladies, and he quickly calls it.
Ace high. Ooh.
So right now, Thomas Walrus up against it. Christian about a 70% favorite to win this hand and eliminate Thomas Walrus from this table.
The Finn could be finished here right now. We will see. 3 players remaining. We're coming right back. Stay with us here on the World Poker Tour.
Come on, miracles suck out. Come on.
welcome back to the World Poker Tour. Thomas Walrus in a bit of trouble. He's got ace-3, his money's all in, but he's up against a pair of queens.
If you win this one, we are almost all even.
Yeah, I don't see that happening though, but you never know, it's poker. I have two flushes also, spades and hearts.
Well, the chip leader at this final table, Christian Grunwig, in great shape here to eliminate another player from this table. Here comes the flop.
It's a 2, 8, 7, no help.
Not so far. Thomas looking for an ace or 2 running cards to make a wheel. That's what he's going to have if he wants to live on. Here comes the turn card. Well, it's a 7. So with 1 card to go, Thomas Walrus must catch an ace on the river or he's going to be our 3rd place finisher.
Well, the Finn needs the ultimate suck out, a 3-outer. He didn't do it.
And that's going to do it for Thomas Walrus. Handshakes all around. The 26-year-old Finn heading back home to work on his ice hockey or his ski jumping.
Very personable player.
Oh, Thomas Walrus.
Great effort, man.
Thomas, well done.
Great guy. It is Finny for the man from Finland. Thomas going to make $310,000, and right now he's going up to talk to Sabina Gadecki.
I'm standing here with Thomas Walrus. Now, you were short-stacked, down to 3 players. Now, were you going to play any ace that came your way?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I had to wait, or I didn't have time to wait for a proper hand. The blinds just went up, so I had to push with any ace, and unfortunately, Christian had pocket queen, so what could I do? But that's okay. I mean, obviously I played for the title, but I'm happy with the money, so it's a good trip for me. I'm happy.
Well, congratulations on making it this far.
Thank you very much.
Well, as is the custom on the World Poker Tour, we get down to heads-up play and we break out the cash. And since we're in Europe, it is euros rather than dollars, but they spend the same, folks. It's not monopoly money. It's not funny money. It's euros, and that's the equivalent of about $1.4 million. That's what these two guys will be getting between them. Winner's going to get over $900,000 and a $25,000 entry into the WPT World Championship. Runner-up's going to take home over $450,000.
The Grand Prix de Paris continues. Heads-up action. The chip leader, Christian Grundwig, with about $2.3 million, up against Jani Sintula with $1.1 million.
Jani from Finland, trying to duplicate the feats of Juha Helppi out here on the tour. And of course from Denmark, Christian Grundwig, trying to emulate the Great Dane himself, Gus Hansen, who has 3 WPT titles.
The winner going to take home over $900,000 U.S. currency. Here we go. The action's going to be on Christian. Peaks down to the 10-8 offsuit.
Raise.
Well, Vince, he's going to raise with just a 10 high here, in position on the button. Understands how important aggression plays a role in determining the outcome of these heads-up matches.
Call.
Well, he's made it $125,000, and Yanni with King Deuce of Hearts makes the call.
Well, they've come to play. They're not sitting back. One guy raising with 10 high, the other guy calling with King Deuce. The crowd standing. Excitement everywhere here at the Aviation Club right now.
Here we go with the flop. It's a deuce, an ace, and another ace.
Well, it's come ace, ace, deuce. That's a good flop for Yanni. He has 2 pair. Action is on him, and he checks. Let's see what Christian will do now. Will he maintain his aggressive mode? He is reaching for chips, Vince, with absolutely nothing here. He's got a 10 high. But he is betting, and it looks like $175,000.
Very impressive venture right here. Sticking it out there. Now back on Yanni. We know he has aces and deuces.
Well, Vince, he lays it down. Now that surprises me. If you're going to call a pre-flop raise with a king deuce and it comes a pair and a deuce, I just can't believe you won't at least make some kind of play at that pot before you give up the hand.
Well, he doesn't have that many chips to gamble with. That time he thinks maybe he has an ace, maybe he has me beat. I'm not going to speculate. I'm going away.
I just can't imagine how you think you're going to win this heads-up battle if you're giving up hands like that, where you make 2 pair and just throw it away.
Well, go ask Yanni.
Well, it's come down to 2 professional poker players, each trying to join their fellow countrymen to capture a WPT title.
And with the button now, Yanni with a 5-4 suited connector of clubs. And he's going to raise up to $125,000.
He's raising right here to try to take the pot down right now.
Well, Christian's got ace-6.
It's the kind of hand you like to be doing the betting first with.
I'm all in.
But he's going all in with it right here.
He is.
He's saying, if you can beat this hand, good luck to you.
And Yanni quickly folding his hand. The stamp man pounding away here at Thor.
Well, man, you got to take your hat off to Christian here. He played very tight at this final table for a long time. He has opened it up right now. He has changed gears, as we were saying. And even though we've only played a couple hands, Yanni's got to feel like he's getting tattooed a little bit here, doesn't he?
Well, I'll tell you something, Mike. You go from like a butterfly collector or a stamp collector, as we know Christian is, nice transition into a chip collector, wouldn't you think?
I like that. That's what he's trying to do right now, is collect all the chips at this table and put that WPT trophy on his mantle back in Denmark.
Is going to be on Christian once again with the button. He looks down at Queen 10 of diamonds this time.
Well, suited hand, pretty good hand in heads-up play.
Race.
He's going to bump it up to 125,000 to go. Into Yanni, who's got a pretty good hand also. Ace 4 hearts.
I'm all in.
Wow, he's doing the same thing that Christian did the previous hand. His opponent raised on the button. He picked up ace 6. He moved all in. Yanni's doing it here with the ace 4.
They're gambling properly right now, and Christian in a little bit of a dilemma. Should he make this call? He could knock out his man Yanni.
Well, Vince has got a nice chip lead right now. He's trying to figure out how many chips his opponent will have if he plays this hand and loses it. But even if he played this hand and lost it, he's still going to have over $500,000 chip lead. So,
well, the difference between second and first place, about $450,000 US dollars.
It's going to cost him $670,000 to call this raise. Yet there's only $930,000 in the pot.
It's my favorite hand.
Oh, that's cute, huh?
Aces.
Aces.
Well, that's what Yanni thinks. That's his favorite hand.
I call.
Oh, he does call with his favorite hand.
Well, you just wonder if this is a superstitious call or something. Yes, if you get lucky and win it, the tournament's over with.
Well, everyone has those hunch hands. Not that bad.
The crowd standing, hovering over the table. They know Yanni's tournament life on the line right now. He must win this pot to stay alive. If he does win it, he will be the chip leader. As the cards lie, Yanni only about a 55% favorite to win this pot, so perhaps this hunch could pay off for Christian. If he wins the pot, he'll be our champion. If he wins this pot, Vince, for sure it's going to be his favorite hand for life.
Here's the flop. It's a 7, 9, and a 5. And that is a good one for Yanni.
Well, it's a good one in that his opponent can't make a flush. He would have to backdoor straight if he made one. Needs a queen or a 10 to take the lead.
I'll tell you something. If his hand holds up, the Finnish folk songs by Yanni will definitely be coming out. He's got to be excited. Here comes the turn card. Another good card for Yanni. It's a 3 of clubs.
So Yanni knows now all he's got to do is dodge a queen or a 10 on the river, and he will double up here.
If he should not, Christian Gruntwig will become our champion. Will his lucky card make him a champion? We will see. Will this be the card of destiny? Here it comes.
Nope, the 4 of spades.
Not to be.
So a pair of 4s by Yanni is going to take this pot down. He has doubled up. Christian won the first few smaller pots. Yanni wins the big pot.
Yanni Santula back in action. Stay tuned. The heads-up action will continue from the Grand Prix de Paris in just a moment.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We're in Paris, where the heads-up battle of the Grand Prix de Paris is underway. We are battling for the WPT title in the cash right now.
And right now, Christian Gruntwig, the former stamp collector, has about $2 million. But Yanni Santula, the Viking, he's back up there with close to 1.5.
You can feel the pressure mounting for both of these players.
The blind still 25 and 50. Let's go back to the table. It's going to be on our chip leader, Christian. He's got Jack 6 of spades this time.
Call.
Well, he's going to limp in on the button.
And Yanni behind him with an 8 deuce. Says, let's see the flop. No raise.
So it's Jack 6 for Christian, 8 deuce for Yanni.
It's a deuce. It's a 4. And another deuce, 3 of a kind for Yanni.
Just a dream flop for Yanni here. And he checks.
Yeah, he's digging the hole.
Christian quickly checks right behind him.
Yes, he did. Didn't quite work there. Here comes the turn card. And another deuce. He's got quads.
Well, Yanni has got 4 of a kind now. And Vince, he is reaching for chips. I do not believe this.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. He bet 75,000. You have 4 of a kind. You can't get beat. You never bet that hand. And he's going to chase Christian away. I'm surprised at that.
Well, Vince, he should know his opponent doesn't have an ace high. He doesn't have a pair where he might have bet the flop. You've got to give him a chance to either bluff at the pot or catch a card that might help his hand.
I don't get this one either.
Why wouldn't you just keep checking and hope your opponent bluffed at it or hit something on the end where he'd better pay you off?
This is crazy, Tom. That is a big mistake right there.
I can't imagine leading out with 4 of a kind there.
And if you look at Yanni right now, that's not really the face of a guy that just won a pot with quads. It's a man that is reconsidering his move. It's all just sinking in. What did I do? Perhaps tomorrow I get haircut.
Action's back on Yanni. He looks down at a Jack-7 offsuit. And he's going to raise it, Vince. He's going to make it 125,000 to go.
He's going to try to push the Dane around, but no, King-7, he's going to call it.
Well, because of the WPT hole cam brought to you by Budweiser, we can see that Christian is dominating his opponent right now. He's got King-7. He's up against Jack-7. Here comes a flop. Over $250,000 in the pot. And the flop comes King, 10-10. A nice flop for Christian. He's got kings up and he checks.
Yeah, trying to trap a little bit here. He's going to give the freeway to Yanni. Wide open.
Yanni reaching for the big plaque. That's 200,000, folks, and he's betting it.
Biggest chip in Europe, of course.
Well, you flop 2 kings here. Question is, how do you play it? Do you call?
I'm all in.
Oh, wow. Christian going all in here. Well, his fear here, Vince, if his opponent has a flush draw or something like a queen-jack for an open-end straight draw.
Do you have your favorite hand?
You just don't want to call and give him a chance to beat you here.
Yanni's sickened by that.
No way he can call with a 7-jack here, obviously. So he's going to lay it down. So the Dane battling back here after doubling up Yanni.
Well, Yanni, taking a shot, getting out of line because the guy checks before you. Now, 4 out of 5 times when a guy checks and you bet, you're going to win that. And this time he looks like a fool, but I tell you, in poker, sometimes you got to be a fool to become a champion. So aggressive play by Christian from Denmark earns him another pot.
Well, that's both these players playing aggressive, especially when they're on the button. You have to like that. This is no walk in the park for either of these guys, I can tell you.
All right. Back to the cards. Christian looks at King Deuce offsuit.
Well, on the button, going to stay in that aggressive mode. He pops it up to 125,000.
And Yanni right behind him has an 8 deuce.
Well, the last time he had an 8 deuce, he made 4 of a kind. Yet he laid that one down. Credit Christian for raising with King Deuce on the button there. Takes down the pot.
Now, I'll tell you something about Christian. He's very famous here now in Europe as a poker player, and they're actually doing a documentary on his life, so they are following him around everywhere with cameras.
Okay, comes out Denmark.
He's a member of what they call the Denmark poker team. 7 of them came here and played in this tournament. He's made it down to the final table, along with Henrik Witt, so that's pretty impressive. 2 out of the 7 guys on that team making it to this final table.
Action's going to be on Yanni this time. Looks down at King 3 of diamonds.
Well, he limps in. He just calls on the button.
And Christian with a Queen 5. Not going to get fancy.
Well, he's happy to see a flop with this hand.
10-3 and a queen.
Uh-oh. Christian has flopped top pair here. He's got 2 queens, but notice that Yanni has bottom pair and a flush draw.
And Christian's coming out to bet 75,000 into Yanni.
I raised it.
Yanni is reaching for chips.
Yeah, with the 4 flush and little pair.
And even though currently he doesn't have the best hand, statistically he's the favorite to win this pot.
225.
Oh, and he just puts an accordion full of plaques in there.
Well, he's raised it 150,000 more. Look at this, Vince. Christian laying down top pair here.
Your favorite hand.
Well, that's something very rare that you see in heads-up play, folks. When a man lays down top pair after the flop, when nobody raised before the flop.
The wonder cam comes up and a 6 of diamonds. Yanni would have caught his flush. It's like Christian knew it was coming. He got out of the way. Yanni would have hit his flush and taken home a monster.
Friendly game, no gambling.
Yanni Santula is coming back. 2 players remain here at the Aviation Club de France. Stay with us. We're coming back with more on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the Grand Prix de Paris. I'm Vince Van Patten with Mike Sexton. Heads-up battle continues.
And Vince, incredibly, these players are right back to square one. That's with Christian Grunweg with about a 2-1 chip lead over Yanni Santula.
All right, let's go to the table. Christian.
He's picked up 2 queens on the button, and he just limps in.
Oh, he's going to try to trap here, and right behind him, Yanni's got ace-9. Look at, he's going to trap as well.
He just checks, Vince. He does not raise with the ace-9.
Couple sneaky Petes here.
Well, here comes the flop.
10, Jack, 5.
Oh, Yanni checks the ace-high. Christian with the overpair.
That flop helped neither player, but we know Christian with a huge overpair.
180.
He's going to bet 180,000.
And a quick release by Yanni. He figured him out perfectly, and that is going to sting if you're Christian.
Now, Vince, there's a case where I believe Yanni's paying very close attention to what's happening here. It's the first time in this heads-up battle where Christian hasn't raised on the button. Here he just limped in. Apparently, Yanni suspected something funny going on and wisely got out of that hand as cheap as possible.
Well, poker life doesn't get any better than this. We are on the Champs-Élysées at the Aviation Club de France, watching heads-up battle at the Grand Prix de Paris. Let's go back to the table on Yanni.
And he picks up king high on the button.
But plaques are coming out to play.
Yanni knows that king high is a favorite over 2 random cards, so he's going to raise it here. But not the random 2 cards that Christian's holding here, Vince. He's picked up a pair of 9s.
Yanni went up to 200,000. Christian with 99. Wayne Gretzky hand.
Now, Vince, he is holding the best cards in this heads-up battle so far. And we know he's going to play the 9s. Does he just call, or does he come over the top and raise?
I'm all in.
Oh.
Well, he's going all in. He's going to try to end this thing right now.
Oh, that is a powerful punch, and Yanni has got to let that one down.
So another big hand for Christian. Just had 2 queens, now picks up 2 9s. So, Vince, you got to say the cards are falling his way right now, as are the chips.
He's got some nice momentum going on. Don't forget, this was the tight player at the table in the beginning of this match when there was 6 players, 5 players. This guy didn't play a hand.
You keep picking up pairs. You can play. And look at this, Vince, on the button. He's got 2 aces. This is incredible that you can pick up these kind of hands in heads-up play. And again, he just limps in on the button. It does not raise with the 2 aces. Yanni with the 9-4 offsuit says, give us a flop.
Luckily, doesn't get fancy, just calls it. Here we go with a flop.
Well, it's come 10-9 deuce. Yanni checks the second pair here.
And this could spell trouble for Yanni Santula.
Well, Christian taking his time here.
150.
He's going to bet 150,000 with the 2 aces. Oh, incredibly, Yanni laying down second pair there. Vince, this guy's got vibes that are unbelievable. He just senses when his opponent's got a good hand.
I hit 9.
And now, Christian's showing him the 2 aces to make Yanni feel even better.
Yeah, look at Yanni.
Yanni's smiling there.
It's one thing to think that they're strong and you're not going to come in, but it's another thing to know that they have overpairs, wired overpairs, ridiculous.
So don't raise me next time, Alin.
What a move to be able to lay down second pair here in that situation.
Well, it's just incredible. Not very often when your opponent has 2 aces that you end up smiling when the hand's over, but Yanni did there. But what a card rack this Christian is, Vince. He's had queens, 9s, and aces back to back to back.
But hats off to Yanni Santula that has not fallen into the trap. A lot of players would have been gone by now. He's made some great laydowns.
Well, you're right, Vince. Recognize that if Yanni wins 1 pot and doubles up, he'll be the chip leader.
All right, action on Yanni. This time he looks down at ace 5.
Oh, look at this, Vince. He's going to try to double up because he's moving all in here for 950,000.
Now Christian looks down at the wire pair of 6s. Look at this. And he quickly makes the call.
Incredible. The guy's picked up yet another pair here. And as the cards lie, he's about a 70% favorite to win this tournament right now.
Who said it?
4 wired pairs in a row. Just miraculous.
If Yanni wins this pot, he's going to be our chip leader, though. As many good hands as Christian has had, that won't matter. We'll have a new chip leader. If the 2 6s hold up, we'll have a champion.
Will this be the demise of Yanni Santula? 5 cards to come. Let's find out.
Everybody standing in anticipation of the flop. They know this hand could well decide our champion. Christian out front right now with the 2 6s.
Here's the flop.
Well, the flop comes Jack 8-8. So far, so good for Christian. But notice if a Jack comes up, Yanni will have 2 pair with a bigger kicker. He'll take the lead.
Yes,
he's looking for an ace or a Jack right now. Can also come 2 running hearts where he'd have a flush. And, of course, an ace would give him the lead.
Yeah, he needs some help right now. Will he get it? Here comes the turn card.
Well, it's a king. Now, what that means is if a king comes off now, Yanni will win the pot with 2 pair and a bigger kicker. So he needs an ace, a king, or a jack to stay alive in this tournament.
Well, he's got some outs, but he's still a dog. He needs to turn this around. Will this be the card for him, or will it be the destiny for Christian Groutwig? Here comes the river card.
Christian 1 card away from taking this title. And it's a tag.
It's a tag.
Christian Groutwig has done it. So finally some emotion by the Dane here. The guy's been so calm all day long. He's getting hugged by his Danish teammates. What a performance right here by the card rack, Christian Groutwig.
Oh, he is just elated here at the Grand Prix de Paris. He has taken his WPT title along with 712,000 euros. He is our champion.
And now let's talk to our champion from Denmark, Christian Groutwig. Christian, come on over here. Christian, you're the 3rd guy from Denmark that's now won on the World Poker Tour. Of course, we know Gus Hansen's won 3 titles. This is your first, but you got to be feeling great right now. Tell us about your performance tonight.
Yeah, I played up to my best game, and it just went perfect for me, and I'm so happy to be here and won this title.
Well, we certainly want to congratulate you on your performance, your Denmark teammates for making this final table as well. You guys really know how to play poker in Denmark. Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you very much, Mike.
For Vince Van Patten, Sabina Gadecki, and everyone at the World Poker Tour, I'm Mike Sexton saying thanks for watching. And until next time, may all your cards be live and your pots be monsters.